Hello guys, a little bit of a variance on what I normally do on my channel. Normally I do magic and I kind of do some commentary. One of the other things I really love to do is to cook, and so this is one of my favorite dishes to cook. It is shrimp linguine with lemon sauce. Real easy dish to make. I will put the recipe in the comments below, so I would suggest you give it a try. So some things that you're going to need is olive oil, 2 fresh lemons, a juicer if you have one. If you don't, that's fine too. You're going to need some basil, some oregano, crushed red pepper, and some garlic. So the first thing we got to do is we got to create the marinade. So the marinade, and I don't measure anything, guys. So, but I'll try to put some measurement stuff in the comments in below. Anyway, so I usually put about say 4 or 5, maybe 6 tablespoons of olive oil, and then I put. Now on the crushed red peppers, here's the thing on them, okay? It's going to make your dish, it's going to put a little bit of heat to it. So if you can't, stand real spiciness, you might want to leave that out altogether, or really limit how much you put in there. Next thing I put in here is some oregano. Now the best thing to do, of course, would be to use fresh oregano and fresh basil, but where I live at, it's hard to get fresh stuff, and I don't have a garden to grow things in. So anyway, let me step over here right quick and get a spoon. Okay. Anyway, okay, so next thing we got to do is add some fresh. I find it a little bit easier just to buy the pre-chopped garlic. So if you want to do yours from scratch, hey, knock yourself out. The next thing I got to get, and while I'm doing this, you need to have a pot of water with about 6 to 8 cups of water in it, salted. Get it boiling, because you're going to need some sort of pasta. Now, the pasta that you use really is your choice. I'm using, here, let me block out the brand, okay? I'm using fettuccine for mine, but you can use linguine, you can use plain old spaghetti, you can use angel hair pasta. If you don't want to use noodles like that, you can use rigatoni, you can use whatever, pasta, whatever, your personal choice. The next thing is the shrimp. It's important that you have it be uncooked shrimp, okay? I usually get about the 60 to 80 count, one package of it. It's not quite a pound. It's 12 ounces is what mine is here. I have a family of 4, and I find that the proportions that I make is just enough, especially if you serve like some garlic bread with it as well, if you want, or if you have maybe even a salad with it, okay? So anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is take my shrimp over here to the sink, and I'm going to, and I'm sorry I can't show you all this stuff because I'm an army of one here, and I don't have anyone to run my camera for me and move all the stuff around. I'm going to rinse the shrimp off just to kind of wash some of the shrimpiness off of, I guess would be the word, or maybe fishy if you, anyway. I rinsed them off a little bit. Now, the shrimp that I get is frozen. And the reason why it's frozen is because where I live, which is in the natural state. And if you don't know what that is, Google it. There's no oceans nearby, so I can't go down to my local seafood store and get fresh shrimp. So anyway, now, so I've got my shrimp, some olive oil, basil, oregano, crushed red peppers. Now, the next thing I have to do is you want to zest 2 lemons, okay? Now, they make zesters and all kinds of different ways. This is what I use to zest, so I'm going to just zest my 2 lemons right quick, right here into my, too bad they doesn't have as a, what's they call in Food Network? Smell-o-vision, because there's nothing to me that smells any better than a citrus of a lemon when you're squeezing it, or in this case you're zesting it. I really like it. Okay, that's the first one. Where'd that second little jewel go? Okay. Tap off that zest on the back of the zester there. And you know, guys, if you like this, if you find this interesting or whatever, please like, subscribe, comment, and I'll do some more cooking videos. I'm not a master chef by no means. I wouldn't want Gordon Ramsay or somebody like that to comment or taste my food. I don't think, because I don't think he's quite that level of fine dining, shall we say. But anyway, I love to cook, and as I learned as a young kid, my mom and my grandmothers taught me to cook. And it's a valuable tool to have, because I'm just cutting this one of the lemons in half, and I'm going to set this out of the way, and I'm going to juice it here. Because especially when you have a family, guys, like I do, and you've got some growing teenage boys that love to eat, if you try to take them out and feed them in at a restaurant, for me it's quite cost prohibitive. And so I'm so thankful that my mom and my grandmothers taught me how to cook. Okay, so next you take the juice of 1 lemon here that I've squeezed, and we pour that in there as well. Okay, so next we're going to take a spoon here, and we're going to stir this shrimp up, get all those seasonings in and around, and just stir and stir and stir. Okay, stir, stir, stir. Okay, now we're going to let that set and marinate while the pasta water continues to heat and continues to get hot. Once my water gets hot and gets to boiling, I'll put the pasta in there and cook it. Now, there's a lot of different opinions on pasta. To me personally, I like to have mine where it's a little bit al dente, or when I bite into or sample one of the pastas, there's still a little bit of a texture there, a little bit of a resistance when you bite into it. You don't want it to crunch, but you don't want it to be mushy either. Because what's going to happen is once I pull that out of the water and I put it over into my pan that I'm going to saute all this in here in a minute, then it's going to continue to cook, and what will happen is the pasta is going to soak up this marinade, and it's also going to and develop, incorporate the flavors in that marinade as well. So we're going to pause for here just a second. One thing I want to point out to you guys is when you're cooking your pasta, when you put your pasta in, your water temperature is going to drop, okay? And it's going to take a little bit of time for it to build back up to a rolling boil again. In that process, in that time, you want to make sure and stir your pasta ever so often, because if you don't, especially if you're cooking a long stranded pasta like this, what will happen is it'll clump up together and it'll make this big mess. So make sure and stir your pasta ever so often to make sure it doesn't stick together, okay? Now I know some people put olive oil like that in their water because they believe that it'll help the pasta not stick together. I don't subscribe to that theory. I don't think it necessarily works. But if you want to try it and you think it works, leave a comment below. Share your experience with it. Like I said, I just think you're wasting good olive oil. But that's my opinion, and everybody's entitled to their own. So in a minute we'll start the sauteing. Okay, we're back. The pasta's just about done, and you notice you have to put a lid on it. That just helps the water get back up to temp, okay, a little bit faster. Got a high heat underneath my skillet here, on high, getting hot, when hot. Now, when you go to put, now again, this is the marinade here, okay? This is the shrimp's been marinating, and this all this time. You want to drain as much as you can off of the shrimp before you put it in there, okay? Now you know your skillet is at the right temp. When you put it in there, hopefully you guys can hear that, it sizzles, okay? That means your skillet's up good and hot like it needs to be, okay? Get the rest of the shrimp in there. Now you drain this off. You don't want, at this point in stage of the game, guys, you do not want the marinade in there. You want just the shrimp and the shrimp only. Oh, sweet Jesus. Sometimes you'll have them on them big jobs boil over like that on you. Okay, so spread the shrimp out. Okay, make sure, yep, see all my shrimp's going out of here. Okay, so say that because you are going to use that marinade, guys. Okay, that marinade is what becomes your sauce. Okay, so we're going to spread this shrimp out. Now, this shrimp does not take very long at all to cook, guys, okay? Especially this size. Now you can get, like I said, I got the 60 to 80 count, which means there's about 60 to 80 shrimp in a pound, okay? So they have, okay, so the smaller the count, the larger the shrimp are, okay? So the way I test my pasta to see if it's done is the taste test, okay? I just take the pasta. Okay, that pasta is ready. It's right where I want it to be, okay? I probably should have started this shrimp a little bit sooner, because if I'm not careful, my pasta is going to overcook, okay? You don't want that. Because if pasta overcooks, then it gets doughy on you. Or what I think is doughy, and I don't like that. So, anyway, the only thing else that you're going to need for this dish, guys, is a little bit of Parmesan cheese that you sprinkle on it, okay? Once you plate it up, a little Parmesan cheese for your plate. And like I say, serve this with some garlic bread or a nice salad, okay? And as you can see, there's some liquid that's forming in here, and that's just the liquid coming out of the shrimp. And that's okay, guys. That's not a problem. That's not a problem at all. And this shrimp is about ready. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull the pasta out and put it over in here and try not to make too big of a mess. But like I said, I'm not a master chef. I have not had master training at Cordon Bleu. Get in there, pasta. Like I said, I have a family of 4. I have 2 teenage boys. And if you guys are not familiar with how teenagers eat, it's kind of like that old Saturday Night Live skit that they used to do with the cone heads. You guys, if you're old enough to remember that. If not, go out there and look it up. Had Dan Aykroyd. Okay. Alright, all my pasta's in there. So I can turn off my pasta water back here. So now, all you start doing is sauteing and stirring up and what's the word I'm looking for here, Mrs. Riverter?
What are we doing?
Incorporating. So I'm going to grab these little deals here to kind of help me toss this all together. Okay? Now, and guys, this is how simple it is. Okay? So we got that going, right? So now, got that kind of toss there. Remember the marinade? Remember? You just pour that over like that. Okay? And that's where all your flavor and let me get all that garlic and stuff out of there, because I don't know about y'all, but I loves me some garlic. Besides that, helps keep the vampires away, right? So we just kind of cook this for just a little bit like this, kind of tossing. Okay? And guys, that's it. Next step is the dinner table. And I'll show you what a final plate looks like. Okay guys, we're back. We're at the dinner table now. And so, to serve this, simply take your tongs, okay, drag your little bit of pasta over here, and reach in there and google you out a few, yes, google is a word, don't judge me, pieces of shrimp, okay, and then for a little flair, I take and sprinkle just a little bit of parsley on there to kind of make it look pretty. And then, would you, my assistant here, my lovely wife, take a little bit of, now if you want to get real fancy and buy the Parmesan cheese and grate it for fresh, hey, knock yourself out, okay? And guys, there you go, shrimp with lemon sauce. Now, a nice beverage,
Thank you.
you're welcome, love. A nice beverage that goes with this is a Tom Collins. If you're not familiar with that, Google it. It's a good drink, has a lemony lime profile that goes real good with this shrimp, okay? And it's a good refreshing drink rather, on a nice hot summer day like we're having down here today. So anyway, y'all have a good day. Try this dish out, it's really good, and God bless. Remember, like and subscribe, follow all things, Twitter and all that's in the description below. Y'all have a good day. Love y'all.